may question ako kay Sir Day, no, about modernization. Do we have enhanced technology po sa mga nowadays para mas ma-encourage natin yung mga youth to have an initiative or para sumali sa mga initiative project po, no, para mas protektahan natin yung environment natin?
Alright. Well, for me, manggagaling lang ako sa sinabi nila kanina. Kasi si Raven nga, estudyante ko before. And
Ay! Meron pala tayo.
in a course which is science, technology, and society. Gusto ko lang din kasi maintindihan, especially young people right here, that technology is not essentially sustainable development. I think we really have to go back to what development is.
Yes.
Especially sustainable development. Kasi iniisip natin, everything has to be electronic or everything has to be technological.
Yes.
Yung kaya natin mag-teleport somewhere, high-speed cars. I mean, those are ideal things that could happen in probably 300 years from now. But the thing is, as a country and as a region and as a city, we're very much rooted with our culture. And I think yung konsepto ng technology, obviously it could be applied in a lot of ways. But we also have indigenous knowledge systems na pwede nating i-adopt to answer climate problems. Thing with that is those indigenous knowledge systems are very well studied and observed on the ground, and they're proven to work. And at the same time, we can also couple it with technology, modern technology that we have. I've been part of a technology business incubator before, and one of the key things that we try to solve in the TBI is about climate solutions. And ang dami nating mga kabataan, estudyante na nag-aaral, they're coming up with their own pieces of technology to combat climate change or adapt or mitigate within the climate change sphere. So, ang dami nating mahuhusay na kabataan na gumagawa ngayon ng innovations na when it comes to like pieces of technology or even services that they could formulate, or even social media. I think it's a very powerful tool kasi apart from policy, apart from legislation, apart from stakeholder engagement, I think a very huge core of understanding and battling climate change is education.
Correct.
Yeah.
And without education, whether it's formal or whether you get to attend a seminar or where you get to attend an initiative about climate change and climate solutions, very important ang education. Ano bang edad yan?
Correct,
Bata ka man, matanda ka man, very crucial yung education aspect when it comes to that. So,
Thanks, Dane. So, right now, guys, since sinabi namin to off-cam, medyo na-establish natin kung ano ang roles ng ating guest dito.
Right.
Government, journalism, and of course, the academy. Ano ang inyong mensahe sa mga schoolmates na nanonood na who probably think na, di naman ako masyadong apektado niyan, I shouldn't have to care so much. Or as long as my deliveries insert that shop here ay nakakarating sa akin ng mabilis, I shouldn't have to care how many trees I cut para makabuo ako ng packaging or whatever product.
And also sa mga taong hindi naniniwala sa climate change.
Correct, marami pa rin ganun ngayon. So, ano ang inyong mensahe? Simulan natin. Medyo violent reaction. Today, let's go.
Ako, for me, I think that young people should believe that they're never too young to lead. I think that we hold so much power. We're so intelligent. Even this Gen Z, I'm a millennial, so
I love the age.
but the Gen Zs and the millennials, you hold our future, and I think we have so many ideas. We're so passionate about things. We're trying our best to get our degree and our formal education, but at the same time, we believe in so many causes, and our talents should translate into something that could improve the lives of other people, especially the underprivileged sectors that we have in our country or in our region. So I think there's also a responsibility of the older generation to provide space for us, whether it's about making initiatives to protect our environment or whether you involve us in the formulation of policies and legislation. Kasi kami rin naman ang magmamana ng environment na to ngayon. Diba? Parang we are the stakeholders that will matter eventually. So I think dapat tayo mismo yung nakikibaka, tayo mismo yung lumalaban para sa environment natin. Because eventually, some of us would probably have a family then.
Correct.
And for me, it's very unethical and unjust if sa ganitong klaseng environment sila mamumuhay.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
ako, I'm coming from the academe, but I'm also a young person. I'm a young Filipino. And apart from being a scientist rooted in curiosity, I think being a Filipino gives me a sense of responsibility. So it's not just about curiosity and finding out the answers about our natural and physical environment, but also carrying that responsibility to protect our environment, because I think personally, that's my way of paying it forward to the people who have trusted in me to protect our environment in my own special scientific way. So,
I love that. And with that, yes,
Grabe.
kinabahan siya. Sabi niya, shocks, ano nang sasabihin ko na sabi na ni Sir Dean. I think same.
Nag-agree na yan.
Ako, I think I would want to go back doon sa mismong talk natin doon sa modernization, development. Ako, ang number one question ko lang naman palagi sa ganyan yung indigenous peoples, the community, the people are not against modernizations. We are asking actually modernizations and development for who. So that's we actually need to really address. Tapos kung di kayo familiar, this November is actually Environmental Protection Month. Yes. And actually, recently concluded lang yung Conference of the Parties ng United Nations on Climate Crisis sa Azerbaijan, sa Baku, Azerbaijan. It's the 29th Conference of the Parties, where they actually talk about the climate crisis in a worldwide framework, na meron actually on the campaign right now yung climate financing. When we talk about climate financing, actually yun kung bilang sa dulo, ayun yung bilang call for action, I actually campaign yung mismong kampanya ng mga environmental defenders. One of the Cordillera Indigenous Peoples Organization, the CPA, interpolate in the UN Conference of the Parties 2019, addressing that the global north, which are the European countries, especially the United States, the biggest emitter of carbon emissions, they actually need to pay the debt doon sa ating mga taga-south, sa Pilipinas, na mismong biktima ng sunod-sunod na bagyo, ng mga natural disaster. So it's the time now to take and as accountability kasi yung climate crisis is a worldwide framework, it's a worldwide crisis na kailangan ng isang malakihang pagkilos ng at paghingi ng mismong accountability doon sa mga naninira mismo ng ating environment, kasi itong mga biggest emitter ay actually sila yung nagiging safe doon sa epekto ng nature. Tapos tayo namang mga mismong nasa south, ayun tayo yung nag-carry ng burden nung ganong environmental degradation. So parang to end this, I actually wanted to ask the youth, kasi hindi lang naman as a student, hindi lang din bilang isang, or even in Baguio City as members of indigenous people, tribes and groups, ganyan, as a youth, I actually calling talaga sa youth to address and participate in the climate crisis prevention sa lahat ng mga organization. So pwede, bukod doon sa education, actually magbigay talaga tayo ng active nating participation and act upon on it, the mismong binabanggit natin kanina. So kung hindi natin alam kung paano siya uumpisahan, there are a lot of organizations that offer activities, that offer education. So pwede po tayo sumali sa mga organizations such as in the city, if you're part of the indigenous people, yung organizations namin, yung Progressive Igorots for Social Action. So na actually itong individual stakeholders, ganyan, tayo yung mismo may responsibility as tagapagmana ng environment to act upon on sa pangangailangan na ng pag-address sa climate crisis right now.
Thanks, Raven.
Thank
so,
you.
Na-plug niya na rin yung org niya doon. So, search
So,
niyo
kompleto na.
sa Facebook. And last but not the least, Jomer.
I think one of the 3 statements that I always mention, where every time they ask me to speak for the youth, is that first, there is no planet B. That's the notion kasi na after generations to generations, ang tingin kasi nila, they will not experience it. Second statement that I always mention is, the youth are not mere beneficiaries of projects, but instead, they can also take initiative. For example, as a student leader, there are CSRs, for example, the Center for Social Responsibility in each academic institution wherein they can pitch projects. Or for example, in the University of Cordilleras, there are pitches, project pitches on technology and of course climate. And most importantly, we can also integrate, for example, in our theses, in our academics, the notion of how we can help in the community. And most importantly, let's try to remove the hype of resiliency. Tama na po ang resiliency. Instead, what we can do is, first, hold them accountable. Sino po ba ang nakakaapekto sa atin? And most importantly, we also need to acknowledge ano po ba ang pwede natin gawin. There are many things that we can do. As a student leader, as a youth leader, lahat po yan kaya nating pasukan.
Thank you so much. So, ang dami kong natutunan this episode, no? Sobrang daming terminologies and ideas ang na-digest ng utak ko ngayon. Kaya medyo nag-observe ako and natututo ako sa bawat sinasabi ng mga ng mga guests natin ngayon, no. And one thing I realize is we should save what saves us. And also we should have a cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Cognitive is to have a knowledge about our environment, about what are the things that we can do to have a sustainable life, and also psychomotor, as affective or as affection, or we should have a reflection, or we should accept that the world is changing kasi sobrang lala na nangyayari, no? To the point na yung ibang tao is hindi pa rin naniniwala na may climate change na. I just want them to wake up na nagbabago na ang mundo. Gising na, okay? We should accept the fact na hindi na tayo pabata, okay? We should have an initiative to work and to have a project that would help the environment. And sa psychomotor, no, sumali tayo sa mga projects na makatutulong sa ikabubuti ng lahat. Yeah.
Siguro sa akin, yung main takeaway ko is one, science communication is so intimidating for a lot of people. Honestly, ako, even if I came from a science background, I was not able to integrate it fully to my life because ano ba ang expected of us as Filipinos? We have to work, we have to provide, and sometimes nali-leave out ano yung epekto nun sa environment natin na hello, o nga, kumikita ka ng malaki, but at the same time, paano pag binaha ka? Lahat ng inipon mo mawawala. And at the same time, paano nakaka-apekto yun sa livelihoods ng iba? Siyempre ikaw, iniisip mo is, ako lang. Kung ano lang yung pang araw-araw natin. And that leaves us na to the fact na socio-economic issue rin yung environment. Na paano mo hihikayatin ang isang tao na kahit isang tuka para mag-isip kung paano niya ililigtas yung nagliligtas sa kanya. 'Di ba? And at the same time, second, tama yung sinabi natin na we have to ask for accountability and sustainability. Sinasabi natin na dapat gobyerno ang gumawa nito, but at the same time, we are also the government. We made the government. 'Di ba? Tayo ang bumoto. So dapat alam natin ano yung plataforma ng mga taong iniluluklok natin. Sila lang ba ang kikita dito? Private companies lang ba ang kikita dito? O tayong mga tao na naapektuhan kada bagyo, kada baha, kada lindol? Lagi na lang ba tayong donation? Lagi na lang ba tayong call for action? Call for volunteers? Of course, we have to, tama ka, wake up, di ba? We need to invoke also the help from other Southeast Asian countries, European countries. Tama yung maging competitive tayo, be proud to be Pinoy, but we also have to learn from the technology of other countries. Paano natin i-integrate sa atin? There are a lot of other Southeast Asian countries that are very much ingrained in their culture, but they don't deny modernization is key. So dapat maging adaptive tayo, but at the same time, salain natin, are these policies, are these technologies adaptable to the current state of the country? And last but not the least, siguro, we should also put pressure on the Department of Education.
Yeah.
Lagi natin sinasabi na communication is key. Dapat marunong tayo sa math, marunong tayo sa science, pero binibigyan ba natin ng budget? Binibigyan ba natin ng focus ito sa mga eskwelahan? 'Di ba? Parang kailangan doon tayo tumutok para maging mas matalino, mas maalam at maging mas makakalikasan yung mga bata. Kasi kung ang naiintindihan lang nila is paano gumawa ng viral na TikTok, pero di nila naiintindihan na they can use their platform to more engaging and more beneficial hindi lang sa akin, hindi lang sa mga locals, hindi lang sa mga IPs, no? Magsasaka, mangingisda na ano ba ang nangyayari sa kanila pag bumabagyo? Nawawalan sila ng kabuhayan. And with that, nagpapasalamat tayo sa mga guests natin.
Maraming salamat po.
Seryoso yun? Break character. So, nagpapasalamat tayo. No? So, hopefully with this environmental episode, nahikayat kayo na not only to visit Baguio City, but also learn of its laws and its local. So, maraming salamat. And once again, dahil dyan, sa bawat usapin, sa bawat issue, may boses tayong mga kabataan.
Sumali, makinig at makiisa dahil ang bawat opinyon ninyo'y mahalaga.
Sabay-sabay nating isigaw sa buong mundo.
Schoolmates, may pakialam ka!
Isigaw ang